What's up, guys? Chad with Character Club. Welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the Ford Econoline E350 extended build. And in this video, we're gonna do tear down. This is a fun one. It didn't go as planned. It took me a little longer. I ended up having to get a tetanus shot, break out my angle grinder, and also break out the welder just to get the seats out of this thing. So, hope you stick around for this video and let's get right to the action. We get a T55 Torx. The first step in a van build is demo. You have to remove the seats, you gotta remove the floor, and here I am making my first mistake, and I'm gonna let you guys sit for a minute here to see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, if you are taking the seats out of a van, you probably already know this watching the video. I've done this before, yet I decided I was going to try and take the bolts out of the seat brackets with the seats in place. So if you have a van, a minivan, most likely they have a quick release mechanism so you can take the seats out to make it easier to get access to the bolts. So Knucklehead here was trying to do it with the seats in place. I got a few out and then realized, I was like, what am I doing? I don't know if I didn't have my coffee or what was going on, but anyway, take the seats out first, step number 1. All right, so I got the seats out of the van and I'm still having issues getting these bolts out. So we're on to mistake number 2 in this process. The bolts holding the seat brackets down to the vehicle, they go all the way through, so they're kind of exposed to the elements from the underneath, so they can actually seize almost to the actual vehicle itself. So if you're trying to remove bolts that hold the seat brackets in, I recommend using like a penetrating oil and let it sit for like 30 minutes, at least WD-40, something to help loosen it up prior to trying to take them off. Because it was an absolute bear trying to get these off, and I ended up stripping it. Mistake number 2, or recommendation number 2, is use a penetrating oil prior to taking out the bolts from your seat brackets. Man, that one hurt. You guessed it, here we are, mistake number 3. Don't use a rusty bar as a breaker bar, unless you want to get a tetanus shot, because that's what happened. You can't really see it in the video, but that bar hit the inside of my leg, and I was actually bleeding from the inside of where my shorts are. So I didn't even realize it until I got out of the van. And after the fact, I couldn't remember the last time I got a tetanus shot. So not wanting to die of infection, I had to go get a tetanus shot after that situation. So mistake number 3, or recommendation number 3, don't use a rusty piece of metal to act as a breaker bar unless you want to get a tetanus shot. Okay, so hit a major snag yesterday and I stripped 2 of the bolts that hold this seat mount down, and I tried grinding them and I started to melt the carpet. It's been a mess. Yesterday I tried welding a bolt onto the other bolt so I could use my torque wrench to get that off, and I snapped the new bolt. So I got a thicker bolt and I'm actually going to, and it just worked. So I got one of them off, super excited. So now I'm gonna weld the other bolt onto the stripped bolt, and then I have something to use the torque wrench to get it off. So where did I leave the bolt? That is the question. This is what's left of the factory seat mount bolt, and you can see I cut that off because I'm going to reuse this one because I know it worked. So that goes in the garbage. Weld this on, and then hopefully I can get this off, so then I can take the carpet out, then take the panels out, then take the seat belts out, get everything out today. So it's not pretty, but hopefully that'll hold enough to get that stripped bolt out. That's the goal. So let's try that right now. Okay, wish me luck. Nope, the weld broke. All right, so now what I got to do is I got to grind that back flat. I'm going to grind this off, get that clean, and then re-weld it again. All right, that's good and flat, clean. Let's try this again. Good. Haha, yes. Woo, we got it. This is what it looked like. I was thinking about drilling it out, but this is hard. These bolts are hardened steel, so I would have never been able to drill that out. Anyway, all to get that off. All right, so thank goodness got both of those out. And now I'm just gonna clean up all this crap, and then I can start ripping everything out of here and hopefully get done with this today. right, so that's gonna wrap things up for day one. Day one was 2 days, but in reality, I didn't even put, I mean, all of this, I think I'm maybe five hours in, because it took me probably about 4 hours to get the seats out because of the broken bolts. Next plan of attack, we're going to be putting in the sound deadening material on all of the floor and the walls, and then eventually the ceiling as well. Then we're going to do insulation for the floor. Then we're going to put the subfloor in. That's going to be the first thing I do. I'm not even going to get to the roof yet. I just want to get the floor done and in. Yeah, so anyway, if you like this video, guys, hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them below. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified of all the videos I have coming up. In addition to this build, I have Cyborg, which I'm going to be doing simultaneously. So Cyborg, you know, you've probably seen this in a couple things. So this is my Chevy Astro that I turned into a camper. Just got the rooftop tent for it, and I still have a bunch of things to do with this. I still have to build the whole inside. So that's coming, and I have a bunch of product reviews coming up, and just some general, I don't know, general projects, a bunch of things. I probably have about 10 different videos lined up. So anyway, thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Oh.